How's it going, you guys? And man, oh man, this year has just flown by. Can you believe it is Black Friday season again? I mean, it is coming up. We're about a month and change away, and we have some Black Friday leaks. The first Black Friday leaks that's relevant to this channel. I'll cover all the gaming stuff. I'm sure you'll be able to find a good deal. Like I always say, if y'all need an air fryer, if y'all need to get your nutrition in order, but you got a limited amount of time, guys, the air fryer is the greatest invention, I think, on God's green earth. Certainly, if you have yet to pick it up, get one discounted during Black Friday. But if you want to pick up a new PlayStation 5, not the Pro, but the standard, or you want to get it for a family member, whatever the deal is, looks like PlayStation 5s will be heavily discounted. I would say heavily discounted, given that, you know, we haven't seen a real big PS5 discount this generation. We're gonna get one come Black Friday. On top of that, we've got a couple of other notes, a couple of major patches for some of the biggest games released in September. We'll talk that in a little bit. But first of all, coming from Bibli-kun, who is incredibly reliable, he's leaked a lot of stuff, PlayStation Plus stuff, the 30th anniversary pricing, etc., etc. There will be, I know you guys have waited for this, the PlayStation 5 Fortnite Cobalt Star Bundle. Screw Fortnite for a second. I mean, yo, listen. If you're buying a PS5 for a family member, the addition of the Fortnite content might actually be a big deal. I shouldn't crap all over Fortnite, but, you know, it's not my cup of tea as far as that's concerned. There will be a digital version and a disc version. Both packages will include the Fortnite Cobalt Star Bundle, which features 8 exclusive Fortnite skins valued at 5,000 V-Bucks. In addition, players will receive an extra 1,000 V-Bucks to spend in the game. The bundles will be discounted by up to $75. What I think this will end up being is that the disc version of the PlayStation 5 will be $425 to $430, and then the digital version will be $375, which they did jack up the price of the digital version of the PS5 when the Slim dropped. It went up from $400 to $450, so, you know, it is what it is. You do have the attachable disc drive now, so, you know, that is a factor, but, you know, PlayStation 5 for $425 or $430, that's still a damn good price. Look, I think this generation has been fairly weak. It's just 2023 and 2024 were really, really bad for PlayStation 5 in terms of first-party output. You go back to 2022 was a stellar year if you actually look at what first-party dropped. However, every single 2022 major exclusive was a cross-generation title, so that kind of dilutes the value of that. God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Gran Turismo 7. I look at a 2022 and even a 2020, and that's what I want out of PlayStation and Sony. You know, 2020, you had Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Demon's Souls, Miles Morales. Obviously, that was the PS5 launch year, so it was a little bit different, but even 2021 had Returnal and Ratchet Rift Apart. Like, the two major first-party titles, I think, would be, you know, great to see, but what do I know? Hopefully, they'll get back on track in 2025. We already know that Ghost of Yotai is scheduled for next year, so if you want to pick up a PS5, I mean, I do think it's still a very good console to pick up. Look, a $425 machine, if you can get it for that price, that plays games the way it does, you're not going to get a PC or build a PC at that price point that's going to perform similarly to that. So, you know, and there's still a large roster of games to play. FF7 Rebirth, as much as a pile of dog crap I think the performance mode is, that game is awesome. Stellar Blade is great. Black Myth Wukong is really good, although, you know, some technical issues on PS5. There's a lot of really solid games that a lot of them have been dropped from third party. Even a Rise of Ronin this year was not amazing, but it was still a good game that's worthwhile to play, and, you know, it's still a worthy console to have. It's just, I look at the output in the PS3 days, the PS4 days, and, yeah, this console generation just hasn't really measured up, especially the last 2 years in particular. Obviously, you have Spider-Man 2 as well. There's a lot of quality stuff on PlayStation 5, and to get it at this price point, I still think it's a damn good pickup. It's just, you know, comparatively, growing up, I know the year Sony is capable of. A 2009 Killzone 2, Infamous, Uncharted 2 all in the same calendar year. Like, that is stuff that I want to see more out of Sony. And if they're gonna, you know, do remasters and all that, maybe some games that we actually want to see get remastered. I don't know, like an aforementioned Infamous, like an aforementioned Killzone 2. But what do I know? Hopefully 2025 is a good time to turn things around. But if you're gonna pick it up for a family member, again, it's still a great console in terms of what is offered and the games that are offered. I do think, you know, PlayStation Plus is trash these days, PS Plus Extra, but if you're new to the PlayStation ecosystem, signing up for PS Plus Extra and then playing Last of Us Part 1, Days Gone, and a lot of those games, Ratchet Rift Apart, I believe, is still in there. There's still a lot of quality stuff in there. It's just the value has been lessening and lessening, but pretty good prices to be on the lookout for. And, you know, if you're looking to go digital only, $375 is a spicy price. South of $400 for a PS5. That's a damn good deal. I know digital only is gonna, you know, push some people away, but it is what it is as far as that's concerned. And speaking of which, we talked about how 2024 was kind of a pile of dog crap for PlayStation, but you know what wasn't a pile of dog crap? Astro Bot. Astro Bot, while it is a smaller scale game, was such a pleasant surprise in terms of how good this game was. A phenomenal platformer and a genre that PlayStation needed a title in, and a mascot that I feel like can turn out to be a very family-friendly mascot. Unfortunately, Sackboy's days are probably numbered. He'll still probably see some cameo releases and whatnot. And Sackboy, A Big Adventure did come out in 2020, but I think Astro Bot's just going to take his place as far as your mascot that's family-friendly for a younger audience, but at the same time, Astro Bot's a love letter to those of us that have grew up with PlayStation. So many callbacks and so many IPs represented, and now we have a brand new update. Free DLC for Astro Bot is coming with update 1.005. That is live right now, and you've got building speed, and building speed with the help of a Barkster, the Bulldog Booster. You will blast your way through a sky-high city, dodge cranes, smash through crates, and even speed through a flying car wash on the way to rescue your stranded crew. Expect a brand new speedrun level to be released each week, and the schedule is available here. October 17th with Building Speed, October 24th with Let It Slide, October 31st, Spring Loaded Run, November 7th, Helium Heights, and then November 14th, Rising Heat. You've got 5 weeks of free content rollouts coming to Astro Bot, and it is one of those games that was a really big standout, and it is a first-party game. Like, Team Wasabi is first-party. However, this isn't what I would call to be a marquee, big-budget PlayStation title that PlayStation is known for. You know, PlayStation is known for your Spider-Man 2s, your God of Wars, your Horizon, those large-scale, big-budget, single-player experiences. Unfortunately, those have taken a back seat for your Concords of the world and Last of Us Online factions, and, you know, that got canceled, so, you know, it is what it is. You know, PlayStation gonna PlayStation, and we're gonna be stuck with the live service push for a little while longer, but hopefully they course correct in the near future. And another game that came out in September that I absolutely loved, Warhammer Space Marine 2 Patch Notes 4.0, new content for operations as well. You've got new features, new operation and termination. This new operation takes place on planet Kadaku. New dreadful foes have arrived to make good use of artillery to annihilate them. You've also got a lethal difficulty for operations. Ammo crates have limited refills per player. Major enemies can now become enraged and will become more deadly and harder to kill. Armor restores from finishers only if you stay close to your battle brothers. Overcoming such a challenge will grant you new cosmetics. Added a photo mode in operations as well. Also, characters can follow the camera with their eyes. Gameplay and balancing tweaks. The melee archetype fencing weapons perfect parry window will now have the same duration as balanced weapons, but it'll start from the first frame of parry animation. Melee perks, chainsword, power fist, combat knife, charge attacks perks get significant damage increases. Basic scan bonus damage on bosses is reduced by 30%. Melter charge damage to bosses is reduced by 70%. Enemy spawn director, PvE, has tweaked idle spawns. Enemy variety within waves is now less random, and enemies can now spawn have additional enemies. Difficulty, ruthless. Ammo crates have limited refills per player. Ruthless player armor is reduced by 20%, and substantial player's armor reduced by 10%. There's a couple notes from developers. AI fixes, PvP fixes, customization changes, level fixes, general fixes, and tech changes and render improvements as well. All of that is rolling out with the brand new patch. I thought Space Marine 2 was absolutely fantastic, and yes, I get the complaint of the game. It is very short. You can complete it in 6 to 7 hours, but it does have replayability in the PvP and PvE components, and I would argue that when I was growing up and you had multiplayer-oriented games, the campaigns were around the 6 to 8 hour range. Space Marine 2, maybe you can say the PvP doesn't have as much depth as you want, but the campaign, I really think if you went for a 15 to 20 hour campaign, the issue with a game like this is it's so over the top, it's so high octane that it almost is going to be diluted by the end of it just from a game design standpoint, and that's how I believe. Could you maintain it? Yes, but then you would also argue, like, what would the budget of the game end up being if you tried to maintain that level of consistency with the chaos for 20, 30 hours that people seem to want? I think an 8-hour campaign for a game like this is fine. Replaying it at harder difficulties, co-op, etc., etc. There's a lot of layers to it, and again, for me, I don't think the only element of a game that we should judge it on is on game length. Is it an element? Sure, and for you, it might be a bigger element, but look at an Astro Bot, $60 game, 12 hours, and it's received incredibly well, and I would argue for a game like that as well, if you go longer and longer, you're gonna dilute the ultimate experience that you're gonna offer, and I think it's better to check out when you think you've offered a quality experience than just get longer and longer, and I think that's a big problem that games do have. They just get lengthier and lengthier. However, I will also say, look at a metaphor. I mean, that game's 80 plus hours long, it could be, and that game sustains its quality level. So, apples and oranges, games of all shapes and sizes I feel like can exist, but that's my 2 cents. But that'll do it for me. Again, if you're looking to pick up a PS5, look, most of you guys watching our video, I would imagine, already have a PlayStation 5, but for a family member, for a friend, whatever the case may be, a 375 digital console, if you don't care about, you know, having your disc, that's a damn good option if that ends up being the price. And you'll get some Fortnite V-Bucks, so if you want a push into the live service ecosystem, you're getting exactly that with the bundle that they're going to be offering. Astro Bot gets an update, new content coming out for the next 5 weeks, and Warhammer Space Marine 2 also getting some new content updates here. And those content updates, by the way, will be continuing into 2025. Going to be a game that consistently gets updates, so that's pretty exciting if you want a reason to go back. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.